Hello and welcome to my meditation. My name is Deborah Baker and I am so grateful that you have joined us for this little while. We are learning how to allow the universe to create our lives in, through, and as us. So let's get started. Let's begin with 3 nice, really deep breaths. So the first one, let's breathe into our chest. Filling up the front of your chest, holding it for a moment, and when you're ready, just release it nice and slowly. And now let's breathe into the chest and the upper back, just filling up your chest to your rib cage. Feeling your ribs expand, feeling the skin of your chest and your upper back expand a little. And when you're ready, let it go. And now let's take the deepest breath we've taken all day, filling up our chest, our rib cage, all the way down into our bellies, just really expanding all the lobes of your lungs. Holding it for a moment. And when you're ready, releasing it slowly. So I have a little story to tell you, but let's relax our bodies first, and then I'll tell you my little story. So let's press our feet and our legs together, our knees, our upper legs. Press that together. Pull in your pelvis. We're going to do our whole body at once. Pull in your pelvis. So pull up your pelvic floor, your glutes, your lower abs. Put your hands in gentle fists and bring them up to your shoulders. Tuck your arms into your sides. Gently tuck your chin. Pull your shoulders up to your ears. And all at once, take a breath. And then squeeze all that together from your feet all the way up to your head. Just squeeze, squeeze, squeeze as long as is comfortable. And then when you're ready, let it go. And just feel the blood flow moving through your body gently as you relax. And your body will continue to relax through this entire meditation, so you don't really need to do a lot more. So the story I wanted to tell you was about this big surprise party I had for my husband on Saturday for a big birthday of his. And it was such a great practice for me in letting it go that I really wanted to share it with you. So, first of all, one of our family almost told him it was coming, and so, I just had to let that go and trust that somehow or other he didn't overhear the conversation. And then we had 3 deaths that any one of the 3 could have, forced the rescheduling of the party, because they were people close enough that we would have wanted to go to the funeral rather than have the party. It was my mother-in-law and 2 other, one person who was a member of the family and another person who was like a family member. And the last one happened just a week before the party. And we knew she was ill, but we didn't know, of course, when she would pass. And she passed in time for my husband to travel to the funeral and back in plenty of time. And it was just uncanny how things worked out. And my practice was, let go, turn it over. And whenever any snag looked like it was going to show up, I just said, okay, God, this is in your hands. Okay, universe, I trust this is working out exactly as it needs to. Over and over and over again. And the final thing, you know how people share locations with their loved ones and their phones? And so we were driving over to the party, and two of my sisters-in-law were also driving, trying to get there ahead of us. And so there were two people at the party watching these two cars arriving at almost the same time. And for some crazy reason, my husband, who normally drives, you know, faster than I would, was driving really slowly through the neighborhood. So much so that I commented to him, "Why are you driving so slowly?" And he said, "Would you prefer I drive faster?" I said, "Oh, no, it's just," I just commented on it. And so what that created was time for my sisters-in-law to park their cars and run in just in time to yell surprise. And that, when that happened, when I heard about that, I just marveled at the practice of turning it over and turning it over and trusting the universe and trusting the universe. And I'm absolutely floored at how it all turned out. Absolutely everything, every travel plan. We had people coming in from 5 different states, and every travel plan worked out perfectly, and everyone arrived safely and left and got back home safely. And it was just incredible. And it drove home for me the importance of trusting the universe, setting the intention, and then trusting the universe that it's going to unfold exactly as we need it to. And so let's take a moment and think about something we would like. It doesn't have to be a surprise birthday party. It can be anything. And so I'll be quiet for a moment so we can think about or allow to come to us something we would like. And I invite you to kind of get a picture of it in your mind. What does it look like? What does it feel like in your body, emotionally? You know, get a sense of it. Not that you have to have it 100% clear, but just to get a sense of it. Or maybe it's not a specific thing. I had a friend who was looking for a job, and instead of asking the universe for a specific job or a specific company or task, you know, job title, she put out there how she wanted to feel on the job. And that's what came to her. She loved that job. Had so much fun, such camaraderie with her co-workers. And so I believe that it's really helpful to get clear on our intentions. So my intention for my husband's party was that he feel loved. I just wanted him to realize how beloved he is to, you know, so many people. The family, the immediate family, the extended family on both sides, co-workers, friends, even acquaintances, neighbors. And that was what I noticed at the end of the party was that's what happened, is he felt loved. And so maybe part of the message here is, how do you want to feel? Let's breathe into that idea. How would I like to feel? Because not everyone wants to feel the same. Some people want to feel exhilarated. Some people want to feel relaxed. Some people want to feel loved. Some people want to feel honored or respected. So think about how you would like to feel. One of the things that we have been talking about in these meditations for years now is loving ourselves exactly as we are. And what would that feel like? And I've truly been working on it, because in 2022 I put on like 8 pounds, which when you're as short as I am, 8 pounds is a lot. And I with those 8 pounds came a measure of self-loathing. I didn't like to look in the mirror. And what I've learned in that time is that hating myself for it, hating my body, having disgust for myself, didn't do anything for the weight. It only made me miserable. And so hating ourselves or disliking ourselves or focusing on our faults isn't the answer. Focusing on our strengths, on how much we love others, how much love we can actually take in on a daily basis, in a moment-to-moment basis. Focusing on all of that heals us. What we focus on increases. And when we find things to love about ourselves, when we find things to love about other people, we find more things to love about ourselves, and we find more things to love about other people. So how would you like to feel? And are you willing to allow the universe to guide you, to let go of what you may be feeling right now, to create the space for feeling how you would like to feel? Emotions are peculiar to the human experience. When I talk to spirits who have left their human existence, they tell me, well, you don't have emotions as a spirit. When you let go of the human experience, you don't have feelings anymore. You don't feel any certain way about it. You are full of acceptance and love. And so my suggestion is that we embrace the emotions we have, that we're feeling, rather than trying to push them away or wanting to feel something else. So if you're still listening by now, I will confess something, and that is I have a really good cry in me. And it comes from a lot of things, the deaths that we've experienced, but also when I was walking in behind him and when everyone yelled surprise, I started to cry, which I quickly stopped. But I was so deeply touched that this man that I love so much was loved by so many people. And there's a video of him that my son-in-law took, and you can see the moment when he sees his father there at the party. And it is a deeply, deeply touching moment. So don't underestimate how valuable your presence is to those you love. My husband had to travel recently, and it was hard. I truly value having him here, and having him gone for a couple of nights really drove that home. And some of my best days are the days when I get to see all 5 of my children. So I suggest that you allow yourself to be present to your loved ones and to embrace that presence. And to trust the universe. I am just absolutely flabbergasted by how much I trusted, how much I was guided to trust, and I followed the guidance, and how well it all worked out. I couldn't have asked for it to be any different, any better. And that's a metaphor for our lives. We set the intention, a year ago I started telling people I wanted to have this surprise party for him, celebrating his birthday. And so I set the intention, and we put the wheels in motion. But when it looked like there was an obstacle, I needed to trust the universe over and over and over again. And that's how life is. When we think something should go a certain way, and we see an obstacle, we trust the universe. We do the next right thing that we're guided to do. And we trust, and we trust, and we trust. The universe truly is moving in, through, and as us. And I have a feeling that that theme of trust is going to come up again and again in this calendar year, in all of our 52 meditations for this year. I trust the universe. I trust God, the one presence, the one power, whatever your word for it is. And I honor everyone in choosing whatever concept they have of their higher power. I think it's very powerful to own our own concept and even to allow it to expand or grow or change. Our human brains are not big enough to truly grasp everything, all that is. And so we grasp whatever it is that is ours to know in this human experience, in these bodies, in these personalities, in this day. I see God everywhere. And just as I said that, God spelled backwards is dog. And this sweet dog came in, huh? You're a good girl. Yeah, she came in to see me. And so accept love wherever it is. See God wherever it is. I was talking to one of my grandsons, and he said to me, "Where is God?" And I turned and I looked at him and I said, "I'm looking at God right now." And he didn't quite know what to say. But I think it's powerful to teach children to own the divine in themselves, to know that they are one with all that is, that God is out there, but God is also in here. And we had a long discussion about omnipresence, that God is everywhere all the time. And I work a lot with crystals and minerals, and I love that the energy of the universe is, in the earth. And so it's in, all these beautiful rocks and minerals and crystals that I use to help other people to heal, or to help myself, or to ground myself, or whatever. It's just amazing. This is a beautiful, amazing world that we live in. And I feel truly, truly blessed to share this human go-round with you, and honored that you tune in and that you find some value in what is given for me to say, what is presented to me to pass on to you. Let's take another nice deep breath. And let me remind you that you are whole and perfect. You already are whole and perfect exactly as you are, in the one presence and the one power moving in, through, and as me honors and recognizes the one presence and the one power moving in, through, and as you. In other words, namaste. Have a wonderful week.